Well, we have a beautiful day in the Okanagan today. It's Saturday, March 30th. We got a call, or I got a message from a buddy who got wind of a car a gentleman needed to get rid of. He was moving. He's had it for a long time. He collected a lot of parts, but it's come down to the wire where it's got to go, and he was afraid that he didn't want it to go to the crusher. So we are going down to pick it up. The gentleman doesn't want anything for it. It's just take it away and give it a good home. So we'll definitely keep it from going to the crusher. And yeah, so this is a little different than what you're used to seeing on our channel. Of course, over the winter months, we do more work in the shop out of necessity, I guess. This time of year, we do more racing, cruises, picking up and dropping off cars, whatever. And yeah, so we're gonna go do that, and you'll see a little different content on our channel. Maybe not so boring. Anyway, it's supposed to be 11 degrees today, Celsius, which is about 52 Fahrenheit. The only reason I know that Fahrenheit is because I had to look it up. I just figured for the American viewers. Anyway, we've got about an hour and a half to drive from our house to go get to this car. So I talked to the gentleman. He said it's okay to film it. So we'll film going to get this behemoth. This thing rates up there in size with the whale. It's big.
So this is the view we get every day, or Dean gets almost every day when he goes to town.
We live about 30 minutes out of town, a little bit rural, which is just how we like it. It's a windy road. A lot of people really don't like it because it is windy, but all summer long it's full of sports cars and motorcycles because it's a fun road for sure. We've lived out here going on 23 years, and I've probably driven this road 12,000 times. You know, I guesstimate twice a day, average 5-6 days a week for 23 years. Last summer of 2023, we had quite a forest fire through here. As you can see, everything's burnt. We just passed a good-sized resort, and about half of it, quite a few large buildings, burned right to the ground. But you can see here all the burnt trees. Of course, across the road, it went across the road and went right to the lake. And there was quite a few houses destroyed. Honestly, I don't remember the amount, but might have been 100 houses. I should know this, but anyway, you can see a foundation there of what used to be there. But yeah, it's really changed the landscape here. We were evacuated. The forest fire was heading north, which would be towards our place, and we were on what they call evacuation alert. That means you have to be ready to leave at any time. And the next, level past that is evacuation order, which means you have to go. So we were on alert. I had to haul all the cars out to various friends' places to keep them out of harm's way. I mean, they're insured for the most part, but it would be a shame to have them burned up, insurance or not. But you can see here, and we'll be coming up to another area where there's quite a few houses lost. You see this fire hall on your right, untouched from the fire, but everything burned around it. And it's interesting fire behavior because you'll have a neighborhood and the fire will burn every second or every third house, whereas you would think normally that it would burn every house in a path, but it doesn't work that way. And maybe just wind conditions or whatever, but There's a house coming up here on the right, a beautiful house, quite a large place, and we were certain it burned down. It's still being built. And the fire went all around it, and I don't know how they skirted that, but they sure got lucky. It's just around the corner here, but look at the devastation. So this has happened fairly often in the Okanagan. Our summers are very hot and dry. We don't get much precipitation, and of course people live right into the forest. So we were on evacuation alert here. Fortunately, the wind changed and it went south away from us. So it didn't impede on us at all. A couple years ago, so this would be in 2021, there was a fire behind and to the north of us, and we were evacuated for, was it a month?
Yeah.
A month. And we had to leave everything and, of course, get all the cars out and stuff. And a neighborhood just about 5 miles north of us lost like 100 structures. And, of course, they're in the rebuilding phase now. But and then back in 08, 09, we were also evacuated back then. That was about 6 weeks or so. And same story. There wasn't, I don't think back then, I don't think there was any houses lost. Behind our neighborhoods, it's all what they call crown land, government-owned land. It's just forest. And the fire came up from the backside, so I don't think it burned any structures back then, but it came right up to our doorstep effectively. But we dodged the bullet. So now we've had fires on all three sides of us. And of course the fourth side is the lake. So maybe we'll get a bit of a buffer zone and we'll be fine looking forward, but you never know. It's just the way it is.
Sorry for the unsteady hand. We're riding in a really big truck, and my goodness, it's like a buckboard.
It's like a lumber wagon. Just wanted to show you a little bit of the scenery, and then once we get on the main highway, we'll show you some more. It's very breathtakingly beautiful, you could say. We've lived here over 40 years, so you kind of get used to it, but you still once in a while stand back and just take it in. It's quite something. I even had to clean my windows really well because I knew we'd be filming like this, and they were pretty dirty. This is my work truck, and I gotta say I'm probably a little lax on the cleaning part of it, and I'm pretty much like that with my cars too. I would rather drive them and do burnouts than wash them. So it's just, I guess it's just who I am. And a buddy of mine, Paul, who got me into this business, I used to tease him about his truck being dirty. And he said no one ever called him and requested that he bring the clean truck. In other words, don't spend all your time cleaning and detailing, because that doesn't make you money. You actually got to go out and work the truck to make the money. So I always repeat that saying from Paul. I thought it was pretty funny. So this is Kelowna up ahead here, our hometown. Lots of high rises going up. It's really growing rapidly. And this, you can see some more of the burned trees. And we'll be coming into a neighborhood here, and you're going to see quite a few just foundations really left. I think for the most part, even the foundations have been cleaned up now and getting ready to rebuild. But you can see this is the Okanagan Lake. You can see this is the Okanagan Valley, and you can see the bridge going from the west side where we are into Kelowna there on the left. But here's some of the houses and more devastation. It's really sad. In fact, there was a gentleman here up on the right. I bought a Ram Charger from him years ago, and he was just building this house, and he was building it on his own, and they were just about done, and it was just beautiful. And I think for some reason he couldn't get insurance, maybe because he was his own contractor or something. But anyway, it burned right to the ground with no coverage. He lost everything. That's the place on the right here. And then you can see on the left all the open spaces, and up there houses were burned, quite a few. It's really sad for sure. I'm sure all parts of the world have dealt with this kind of stuff. Here's the view coming down the hill towards Kelowna. We're not going to be crossing the bridge today. We're going to be going south, further south, just south of Penticton, probably about 45 minutes or so, to the gentleman's house where this car is, where the mystery car is, because I still haven't told you what it is. But it's vintage. It's a Mopar, and it's he's giving it away free to a good home, you could say. So that's where we're headed. Be the cameraman.
Dean's determined to make me motion sickness.
Yeah, I
I'm trying to
requested she
hold
film
this.
along the road here. You can see all the burnt trees up the mountain, and they all came down to those houses. I think for the most part, all those houses along that lake there, I don't think any of them burned, but scary stuff for sure. So the Okanagan Lake is a fair-sized lake. It's about 80 miles long, and it's probably at its widest point, maybe, I don't know, 3-4 miles maybe? I'm not sure. And it gets quite deep too. There's parts of it that are over 1,000 feet deep. So it's quite a large lake. So a lot of this, it's dammed on the south end in the Penticton area, or actually OK Falls area. I guess it would be Penticton, yeah. And this water, the lake fills from all the mountains around here. You can see the snow up in the mountains around us. All that spring runoff fills the lake, and then all our lake drains south. And all this water, a lot of it goes into Washington State. There's a couple dams between here and there, just little ones, nothing hydroelectric size or anything like that. And yeah, our water heads into the United States. We're just leaving West Kelowna. We're coming down a hill into what they call Peachland. If you look to the right here is the exit. That's the direction towards Hope and Vancouver. And if you've ever seen that show Highway Through Hell, that's where that's filmed, up that way. But look at this view here. So this is Okanagan Lake still, and down there is Peachland. We're going to be skirting the whole far side of the lake, but it's just such a stunning view, especially on a really nice sunny day. Never get tired of seeing this. You see little smoke plumes all over the place. There's lots of orchards and stuff in the Okanagan, and this time of year, and then when it's a high cloud ceiling, they have open burning, so they can burn their old branches and stumps and stuff.
Oh.
So that's why you see lots of smoke here and there. It's just farmers burning their waste. This is coming down the hill, and straight ahead of us, that's called Peachland. That's just a small little town, right lakeside.
This is Peachland.
Well, the end of Peachland, we passed through most of it already, but just show you a little bit more of the scenery. All our trees are starting to bud now. Be long, we'll have some leaves. don't know if you can see the highway on the far side there, on the far side of the lake there, but we'll be heading all the way through that way, all the way to the end of the Okanagan Lake, which ends at Penticton. And that's a really beautiful city as well.
It's up in that area up there.
So this is Summerland. We just passed through most of it. We're on the southern end. I just thought I'd show you a bit of view here. Across the lake, that's called Naramata, little township. I don't even know if it's a town actually. Lots of vineyards and orchards there. There's a lot of big wineries in this valley. Wine is a big thing. And we're just about in Penticton, probably another 10-15 minutes. And yeah, that's the same lake, still going. See a lot of dry, it's pretty dry down here. See a lot of sage and stuff, cactus. This is coming into Penticton. Just south of here is Soyuz and Oliver, and they're pretty much right on the BC-Washington border. Anyway, around the Soyuz area, it's a lot like this, and that is the northern tip of the Sonoran Desert, which runs from Mexico all the way up across the border into Soyuz here in Canada. It is dry here, so we get a lot of rattlesnakes, scorpions, black widow spiders, that kind of stuff. Even though it's Canada, we still have a lot of those critters. So this would be the southern tip of Okanagan Lake. This is where it ends.
That word actually on the hill there says Penticton. I don't know if you can make it out or not.
So here, this is Penticton straight ahead. Penticton is sandwiched between two lakes, Okanagan Lake here to our left, and then just on a few miles south is Skaha Lake. And they got beautiful beaches here. You can sort of see it here. There's a beach running the full length there. And in end of June, they have what's called the Peach City Beach Cruise. It's been going on for about, I don't know, 15-20 years. And they get about 800-900 cars. It's a car show, and it's a weekend. They got all kinds of stuff going on. And it's a really nice car show because they park right along the road, right along the beach. So it's a beautiful venue. And we go to it pretty much every year. You could look it up online if you want to see pictures, but it's quite cool. It's a really nice show. And yeah, you can probably see the sandy beach now. And then actually, I don't know if you can zoom in on that boat there at all, Shauna. That is, I think that's the SS Sycamoose. You can see the old paddle wheeler boat. Back, I don't know, 80 years maybe, that used to run up and down the lake carrying passengers. So it's permanently moored there, it's grounded there, so it's just a tourist type thing to go and look at. But it's pretty neat. This area they call the Channel Parkway. This channel of water flows between Okanagan Lake and Skaha Lake. And in the summertime, you see the water's quite low. They drain the water and the lake level quite low in anticipation of the spring runoff, so they don't have flooding. We float down here in the summertime. It's quite a tourist attraction. You can float down here on tubes and stuff. And depending on how much they're releasing the water out of the dam and current flow, it can take anywhere from an hour to 2.5 hours. So It's actually quite a relaxing cruise in the summertime for sure. Water's quite warm. You can see it heading all the way up here. No, we passed that already.
Oh, we passed that.
Yeah. This is probably the 3/4 mark or 2/3 mark.
They have buses and everything that you can take once you're done your trip down the lake, or down the waterway. They have a bus that will bring you back to your vehicles.
Yeah, you and your floaties.
Yeah. You rent the floaties, or you can bring your own, but then not sure what the bus situation is then.
Well, you just pay to ride the bus.
Yeah.
So this coming up ahead is Skaha Lake, and we'll be right along the beach here. But it's quite a nice beach. We're going to be turning left at the lights and heading up the east side of the lake to the gentleman's house with the car. So here's the end of this is where you would get off your tube. So on these steps and get your ride back.
That's the end of the line for the channel ride.
Oh, there's Skaha Beach. As you can see, it's quite a nice beach. It's really wide. And it goes down quite a ways in both directions. We didn't see half of it going the other way, but on the far end of that lake, you can see some buildings. That's Okanagan Falls. That's the direction we're heading. But we are going to be turning here, and the beach is still going. It's just behind all these buildings. Here's a nice park. So this is it here.
This is her.
So you've had it 15 years, you said?
Yeah, it's been in storage here for over 15 years.
Oh, wow.
I've got it off the summer in he had an auto record place there.
Oh, okay. Is that the guy with all the old cars?
Yes.
What are they called?
I don't know what his name was. I was there looking for parts for my buddy's 426 Semi Roadrunner.
That was the orange one.
Orange one? Yes. Mike Rupert owned it.
Yeah, and he's right in OK Falls.
Yes.
Yeah, when he first got that, because he got up in Prince George area.
Yes, he did.
And when he first got it down, I'm not sure, I think he might have been selling a Hemi K-frame, and that's when I went there to purchase. And then I looked over his car for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was a clean car, like not a speck of rust.
No.
And 4-speed car, and
yeah. And it had the pistol grip.
Yeah, pistol grip.
Yeah, it was a sweet car.
Yeah. And then he recently sold it.
Yes, he did.
He went through a divorce, I think, maybe.
Yeah, he was living common law with a lady and didn't work out. And then, of course, after a certain time.
Yeah. Another guy I know bought the car from him.
Oh, okay.
He's up in West Kelowna.
Oh,
that's
in West
Kelowna now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
so you got this out of the auto wrecker.
Yeah, and she sat under a bunch of willows.
Yeah. So how were the floors? Did it fill up with everything?
No, it was covered right over, so it was protected.
Is it from the tree?
From the tree. It grew all over it.
Isn't that something? I guess it gets pretty shaded, and half the rainwater doesn't make it down.
So when he asked me, when I found what I needed for Mike's car, which is a special type of washer that goes on the power steering hose.
Yeah.
You had the copper one.
Yeah.
And he had a whole can of them. You can't buy them anymore.
Wow.
So I grabbed a couple of those from him and I said, "You got any cars you want to sell?" And he goes, "What are you going to do with it?" I said, "I want to restore." So I bought 3 of the, a 68, this one, and another 67.
All Monacos?
Plymouth Fury.
Oh, Fury.
Yeah, but it was, the floorboards were rusted out of it, transmission and all that was missing.
So you just picked parts?
What I needed. And then I sold the rest of the body to another guy. And
yeah. That's the way it goes. If it's a parts car, it just dissipates to different areas and everybody takes a piece.
Yeah.
At least it lives on in the parts end of things.
Yeah.
I mean, not all cars are feasible to restore or financially feasible to restore. So it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're 50, 60 years old now.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time. Like I said, I do scrap, and whenever I come across an old car like that, I do my best to move it on, or if it's too rough, at least have someone use the parts. I just hate wasting them because I'm a car guy up to here.
Yeah.
And
Gosh, okay, that's enough.
yeah, so I don't like to waste things. So.
No, and then that's with the change of my life going on. I didn't want to send this to the crusher.
Oh my God, I could never do that.
I know, I couldn't.
Yeah.
And this was my deal. That's why I kept it for 15 years.
Yeah.
My plan was to retire, and when I sold my equipment,
And tinker away.
I was going to tinker away, but things have changed.
Yes. So now you sold your equipment and you sold the farm.
I've sold everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and we have a house in Kelowna.
Oh yeah, right on.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so we'll go there. Mama will be, my daughter moved away with 5 kids.
Oh, okay.
Used to live with us.
Oh, with 5 kids.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's made a big difference to her. She's kind of go stir crazy here now.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot quieter or more isolated.
Yeah.
Yeah. We live in the Fintry area. You know where that
Okay,
is?
yeah.
So halfway between Kelowna and Burn on West Side
Yep.
Road, and we like the rural like this. So like when we were
Yeah.
driving in here, I was saying to Shauna, "Gee, how do you like this?" Right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're at this stage where we like the rural and we like the
Yeah.
space.
Oh yeah,
But I mean, we have a lot of space too. So we're
yeah,
aware.
but without my wife loves
Oh, for sure.
children.
Oh,
and
for sure.
She said that I can't do it no more.
Yeah. Where did
So-
your daughter move to?
Calgary.
Oh.
She's been gone 4 years now.
Oh wow.
And so the wife says, I just don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's
You know,
just the way it goes.
oh well, yeah. So got to make the changes.
That's right.
If Mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. Yeah. But this is exactly how I found this girl. I've been collecting parts for it.
I was looking over the pictures of it, and yeah, ironically, it's pretty solid. Like you would
It's
think something sitting under a tree for whatever would be just total
Totally-
parts.
Yeah, and the engine is seized.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Yeah, the motor's seized. And the only thing I haven't gotten for this is the air breather.
Oh, okay. I've got numerous of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and all the extra parts I have, I put in the trunk. Extra rims, all the original hubcaps, radios.
Wow.
I have extra AM radios in there.
Wow.
So, because I've been collecting stuff here and there and everywhere.
Yeah. Well, as
Yeah.
you find them, you just stick it in the pile.
Yeah.
I mean, I do the same thing, but for 20 cars.
Yeah,
I get the
Yeah.
disease bad, so I'm out and about all the time. I talk to a lot of people all the time, and I'm in the Mopar Club, and everybody I know is Mopar,
Yeah.
virtually. And so whenever a piece or part or whatever, I just
Yeah.
stick it away, and then I'm getting close to retirement age where I want to do the same thing.
yeah,
And we started this channel thinking it would be a neat side hobby as we retire, and we're playing with these things, and you get to meet people. Just 10 days ago, we were down in Las Vegas at a car show and racing there. It was mostly Mopars. But it was neat to meet other enthusiasts from Phoenix and Idaho, and we're all on the same wavelength, We're all geared cars.
yeah.
And
yeah.
so it's just fun.
Well, yeah, and my dad the brand name Autopar?
Autopar, yeah?
Yeah, well, my dad started that brand in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Really?
Yes, he was the guy who invented that brand.
Well, here's some good good information.
And the Chrysler Canada, we opened up our own parts store. We had a machine shop. We had an auto body bay. And we started the brand Autopar.
In Winnipeg?
In Winnipeg, Manitoba.
So is that where you grew up?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Born and raised there till I was 20.
I was born in Kenora, and
Okay.
we lived in Thunder Bay, and then we moved here in 1980.
See, we came in 2000, 1999, 2000
Oh, yeah.
is when we moved
Was
here.
it a good move?
Yes and no.
I mean,
Because
probably...
we left a lot of family behind.
Exactly, I was going to say, so
So-
it's probably better climate-wise,
Yes.
but negative family-wise,
family-wise.
because the family's still there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in that regards, but yeah, it's been way better living here.
Oh, for sure.
Way easier.
I mean, when we moved out, I was 12, so of course I didn't like it because you're missing all your friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But of course, as an adult, it's like, dodged a bullet there.
Yeah. So I'm an auto power boy since I was 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
I at the age of 5, I was doing differentials.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
my dad had the place till I was 20. Oh, so I think it was 20. I was working up north. I went to work up north. I was about 21 or 22 when he finally sold it.
Wow.
And it turned into Don Vito Auto Body.
No kidding.
Yeah. And we had all the lathes and everything. I could take a piece of steel and build you an engine.
Well, and back then, like I have a friend of mine, Ron, and his uncle, he was in Ontario, and his uncle had a Chrysler dealership.
Oh, okay.
And he used to go there as a young lad, young teenager, and go there and play and work and help them out. But back then, and he would always say is, your starter goes bad. Well, they would rebuild it on the bench.
Yeah.
In shop.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's just reman, you ship it out,
No,
you get a starter
reman.
or carburetor or
It's-
power steering pump or whatever.
It's R&R.
Yeah.
Remove and replace.
Yeah. But back then, it was rebuild it in shop. Here's the parts and the brushes for your alternator or whatever. So you could.
So you could do it.
That's right.
And I did a lot of machine work for him. I did a lot of heads.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did all the heads. And instead of putting a cam in, we would just take the heads and I'd shave it down 10 thou.
Right. A little more compression.
Yeah, need a little more compression. And my dad used to race. So we had an altered rail, we had a funny car.
Wow. Did he race any like stock body Chryslers or anything?
Yeah,
Or were they always,
he did some of that too.
Yeah?
Yeah, he did a lot of racing with the Chrysler.
Oh,
brand.
yeah. I do a bit of racing, bracket racing. I've got a 69 Barracuda race car now. We go down to Soy's quite a bit or up Thunder Mountain in Kelowna. But I've got Chargers, Cudas, and all that kind of stuff. And we race them and just have fun with them.
Yeah.
You know, I live, eat, breathe this stuff, since the early 80s.
It gets in your blood and it never leaves.
It is because years ago, probably early 90s, I sold everything, all my old stuff, all my parts and stuff, and I just had a newer vehicle, and in about 6-7 years, it just comes back, but like twice as bad.
Yeah.
And now I'm really bad. 'Cause we moved out of town to have some space, and I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that something like this can be put back to the road in good
and
use because it's in good shape.
For sure. And one thing, thankfully, a lot of the patina or rat rod, you could say, is popular because otherwise, say a car like this, if you wanted to paint it and do the body work and send it out, you're looking at $20,000-$30,000, and of course, it's not worth that. No. So people, and I think that's why the patina thing became popular. It's just because they can still enjoy their car. People respect it and actually like that, and it's way cheaper and it's more affordable. So there's more enthusiasts and yada yada.
There's more people involved in it because
for sure.
You're not spending that $80,000.
Exactly. You know, a car like this, a guy could go through the mechanicals, which wouldn't be a whole lot of money, like, brake stuff and fuel system and that, and you could get a 318 out of anything. Yeah. I mean, to rebuild that 318, you're looking at like $5,000, and that's a fair bit, but you could get one out of a truck for $200.
Yeah.
You know, or even through my business, I got lots of 440s and automatics like out of motorhomes and stuff.
Yeah, you can put it in there.
Bolt right in.
Yeah, bolts right in.
Yeah.
I think your most dear part is going to be this.
Yeah. I mean, you can buy all that material as a kit and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's probably a $2,500 bill.
Yeah.
Just for that.
Just for that.
But if you drive it on sunny days, you just leave that down.
No, that's right. And it even has the original glass in the back.
Oh, you were saying that.
Right here.
Yeah, original glass window. That's neat, hey? Glass window in a convertible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you sent me a picture of the fender tag. So I decoded it online, and it was neat. White with a copper interior.
Yeah.
You know? And then it's a 294 differential.
Oh,
Years.
294?
294 open, non-sugar grip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says that right on the tag. But, as far as these go, it's a pretty basic car, just a convertible, whatever.
It's a cruiser.
A cruiser, for sure. And it's be like driving a couch. You know, just float along, right?
It's a boat.
Yeah, built for comfort, not speed.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess you got it on 4 jack stands.
Yeah.
Now, that's one thing I never thought to bring. Do you have a floor jack handy somewhere? Yeah.
The only thing is we probably need to put air in the tires.
Okay, well, I've got air on there in my truck.
Good. Because
So,
I was trying to start my little generator and hadn't been started in months. So it's acting up.
Yeah. Now, as far as loading it up, it's not going to be a problem. I can back my truck right into the cement here. We'll
Yep.
angle it, and we'll air up the tires. We'll pop this
Put it
down.
Yep.
And then I should be
Just
able to winch
skid
it
it
right
right
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, I put, whoops, that's my mouse strap. There you go, leaf springs, hubcaps, parts, knobs, tires. These are all rims. And,
Were these off those other cars you bought?
no, these are actually with this vehicle.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
And
Winter tires, yeah.
I got an extra drive line that was off the other car.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in here and goodies and knobs and
Oh, yeah. It's like a treasure hunt when you get.
when you get in here, I even got a new grill.
Oh, no kidding.
There's a grill right there.
Wow.
That I put
I never looked. This one's probably pretty decent in.
Yeah, it is pretty decent. The only thing here is you got some damage right here. See
Yeah, that's one thing on these. They got such a huge bumper.
Yep.
And probably fairly hard to find. Little dent here, but overall pretty straight.
Yep.
And I'm thinking the front looked pretty decent too.
Yeah, the front's in pretty good shape. When I found it, I was quite astonished at. I thought it would just be a rust bucket.
Yeah.
But
So the floors are reasonable on it? Or?
They're all good.
Really?
They're good.
You know,
So I'm flabbergasted at the shape it's in.
Yeah. Maybe because of the open air. I got a 70 Super B that sat in a field up by Dawson Creek since 86, so 35 years or whatever. It sat with no windshield, no back window, but the side glass was in. It had no interior, so it filled in with snow and rain for 35 years. Floors are mint because everything evaporates.
Yeah.
It doesn't keep it and fester and mold and
Yeah.
stuff. And so shocking, but that's cool. That's a big battle. We're doing a car right now on our channel for my wife. It's a 64 New Yorker town and country wagon.
Oh.
Yeah, neat car. Originally
Yes.
from California. It's a really clean car, but floors are rotten. So on our channel, since 1st of January when we started, I've got the engine apart. We're going through that. A little bit on the tranny. We've done a bit of suspension. All the brakes are done. All the fuel system's done. So anyway, we want to get it on the road for this spring, and it's similar. The paint's like this, but
Yeah.
we're just going to leave it at that for now and have fun with it.
Have fun with it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Speak-
So, but I've got to build floors for that, so that's what I was getting to.
Speaking of which, where is it? Do you need a motor stand?
Oh, you got one?
Brand new.
No kidding.
Haven't even assembled it.
Wow, you didn't get that far yet.
No. Oh, yeah.
These look like little lowrider tires.
They sure do.
Well, as long as it rolls, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So has it been in this exact spot for 15 years?
No. It was under the lean-to for a bit. Then it was over here for a bit. It was over there for a bit.
Yeah.
Then it ended up here.
I guess it'd be in a way if you got logging trucks in here.
Well, that's what happened. Oh. Come on, baby. Try it without the words. See what happens.
I better untangle my toes a little bit. Hey Blair, would you mind grabbing the hooks there? I just gotta let my line out.
How's he moving it over to be straight though?
Skid it.
Just skid it?
Yep.
And I'm just gonna hook the one side so you
Yeah,
slide it
it'll
back in.
it'll kick it. Kick it this way. So if he puts it on the far side, just slide it right over.
We're in park, right?
Pardon me?
It's in park.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll leave it in there for our time.
Yeah. It's in park.
So is the one working on it or not?
It may go to the Dodge Club.
Oh.
So he
Yeah.
said he didn't know if he was going to work on it or if he was going to have it in the Dodge Club. But it will get a home.
Oh yeah.
See? It's all coming.
Okay. Now we'll hook it up, put it in neutral, and roll right up.
Rats in here.
Yeah.
What's that?
Size engine would be
318 small block.
318, small block.
And it even has the key in the ignition.
Really?
Ah. Voila.
Look at that.
Voila.
So there's full warranty and roadside assistance.
Yes, and it's all done by a good friend of mine by the name of Dean.
This car is so long, the diff is so far, and the
Oh,
cars are short
look.
tires.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go on to leaf spring shackles. What's yours?
Yes. I didn't want to sit on it when I was under it.
Oh, you're good.
He's going on the shackle.
Oh yeah, I can get through it. Okay. Mind steering it to the right? Yeah.
That might be close for now, Blair.
Okay.
That's quite a bit, right?
Looked like it almost did.
Yeah, so
Are you okay
close.
there?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll walk up the side if you watch the door.
Turn it a tiny bit.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay, you must go straight now.
Straight
Yeah,
still?
straight, yeah.
How are the wheels?
Not quite straight. So yeah, this way? No, the other
The other way?
Yeah. There. A little bit more. Yeah, hair more. Okay.
We're ready. Yeah, we're close to the side. Pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Turn a little to get your front end.
Okay,
Turn,
this way?
yeah. Yeah. More. Okay.
We just got another foot to go.
Okay. Yeah, you're good.
Good.
Okay, that's it. Just put her in park.
Park. You want the windows rolled up?
Yeah. Don't want to get any dirt inside.
Oh, look, nice and solid.
Line 'em.
Tell that's solid.
Bye.
Taking a picture of it.
I know. They're putting it on the YouTube video.
Oh, okay. I should stay out of it.
No, come on, smile.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You know what we'll do? We'll kiss. I can imagine the tongue color. Oh my, this makes things so much easier.
Anytime you want, just go onto the YouTube channel. It'll be on there.
Oh wow. YouTube.
So you'll be able to track it.
Yeah. Well, it'll be neat to get something done to it finally. That'll be it. Wow, he probably didn't lift the air.
Yeah, the air has to go.
Yeah. Because I got a receipt from the guy I originally bought it off of.
Do you still you have that handy, or is it probably buried somewhere?
I might have it in here.
So you got it from a guy in Oliver,
Yeah.
and you have a bit of a story from where he got it from.
There was a native lady off the reserve
Yep.
who bought the car brand new.
Brand new.
Brand new. Bought it right off the dealership lot.
Wow.
And her nephews took it for a joyride one Saturday night. And they were driving the
Heck out of it?
Heck out of it. And didn't check the oil. And they ran it out of oil and seized the motor.
Wow.
So it sat at her house for a number of years, just rotting, because I guess she couldn't afford to put a motor in it.
Yeah.
And that fella at the who's doing the junkyard for cars picked
He
it up.
picked it up, and then he
took it
just
home
kept
and
it aside.
Kept it aside, and that's where all the willows grew over it.
Right.
And then I happened to come along and ask him, "You got any Mopars that you'd like to sell?" So, and then he said, "Only if I would restore it."
No kidding.
So
Well,
that's
that's
why
cool.
I cannot let it die.
Yes, and I can't let it die either. I
Yeah.
just can't do it. So, well, that's an interesting story, and so it's been sitting a long
A
time.
long time, because it's only, like you said, 22?
22,000 miles on the odometer. He thinks that might be the original miles, which is amazing. It's, what is it? It's 56 years old.
Yeah.
And it's probably been sitting for 46 years.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It has, and it's just the interior is rotted out, but the body sure stayed good.
Yeah, the body looks solid overall. It's just a little dirty, but, not bad.
Yeah. So it'd be great if we can get herself off on the road.
Yes, yeah. We're gonna. It's definitely gonna move upwards from here. It's not gonna go to scrap. Whether we do it or whether we pass it to someone who does it, we've got a lot of parts to do it with. It's just a matter of, I guess, time and whatever.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
it'll definitely be saved to or restored to a driver car anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Something like this, you could probably wash and polish up to some degree, and it would look, 20 footer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got enough room for a hot tub in the trunk.
Yes. Well, thank you very much.
Oh,
It's much
thank you.
appreciated.
Restoring it?
What's that?
Are you the one that's
Well, we're not sure. We wouldn't restore it to full paint because a paint job would be 30 grand.
Right.
It's just not worth it.
No.
But as far as getting them driving and mechanical, possibly, because we have numerous cars.
Okay.
And we have all kinds of parts for these, and I got motors and transmissions and all that stuff to do it.
Okay, well, if you have our email and you get whatever,
Yeah.
send us a...
Yeah. Well, I'll get you to
Yep.
text me your email, and that
Yeah.
would be interesting if there's updates or whatever.
Yeah, because
And,
that'd be nice to stay in
yeah.
touch with it.
Yeah.
That was my husband's
Yes, because
second...
So I'll do a little walk around and show you just what we ended up with. It is actually a really solid car. I don't see any rust on this side, a few little dings and stuff, which to be expected. And of course that chrome can probably hide a lot. But let's look under here on the rockers, and it is all solid. And then come around the front. So lots of little dings here and there. You know, 56 years old. Decent front end and stuff. It's got a spare grill in the trunk. Yeah, I see a little bit of rot at the back panel on this side. Otherwise, it looks really good. And even the trim looks pretty good. This looks like it came apart, but there's a seam there, so that just tucks back up. So this is the only rust I see. Probably looking under these bottom of the quarters from the inside, give you a better picture. Even the trunk lip looks good. Now I'll give you a quick look inside, and then we're going to hit the road. So, trunk full of stuff. Have a look under there. The lip looks really good. A bit of a dent right here. Other than that, though, the taillights are all intact. I mean, of course, it's filthy. It's been sitting forever. Tons of parts from other parts cars. Give you a little shot inside. Oh, look at that. Back seat's got a speaker right in the middle. Here's an extra bumper. Not sure how to lay that down so it doesn't damage anything. Obviously the roof's toast. That's just par for the course with these, and it even has some old Frankenstein stitching there. So let's have a look inside. The dash has got one little split right in front of the steering wheel. Otherwise it's all intact and straight. Steering wheel. We got a gauge cluster here, and of course console. Seats are all there. You know, split like you'd expect. Door panels, unfortunately, there's a couple speakers put in the door panel for that quadraphonic sound, I guess. Anyway, I'll open the door and you can see, look at that. So it kind of messed them up, but you know what? It is what it is. And quite often a car like that, this is not one you restore. You just get it roadworthy and just enjoy top-down cruising. In fact, you could even just not even bother with the roof and just take it out on sunny days and just leave the top down. Anyway, that's it. I can't film the engine from here because it's hanging over the end of the deck. But that's what free gets you in 2024. This guy was very generous, and his big concern was just having it not get crushed and somebody somewhere fixing it. So I'm not sure if we're going to do that and get it mechanical and go through it just like we do with the whale, or if we will try and find a good home. That remains to be seen. So to be continued, I guess. Okay, on the other side of Skaha Lake here, you can see the highway running along the lake there, somewhat elevated. There was an interesting story. I think this was discovered maybe 15, 20 years ago. You could probably Google it and find the story. What had happened was back in 69, 70, 71, a young lady, a young mother disappeared. She just vanished one day, never to be seen again. And what happened, well, about 15, 20 years ago, some divers were just swimming the lake. They were cleaning up debris and junk. Anyway, they found the woman, or more so, they found her car. What had happened was, back in the day, she went off the road and down the embankment into the lake, and she perished. And no one ever, it was a mystery as to what happened to her. No car, no body, no nothing. And anyway, 15, 20 years ago, some divers found the car, and she or her remains were still in it. And, the mystery was solved. And she had a young child, I think a daughter. And of course, she would never knew what happened to her mom. So, it is tragic for sure, I guess. But on the other hand, it's closure, at least And, it was an accident, and she just disappeared one day. So if you Google body found in car in Skaha Lake, Skaha HA. The story should come up on Google, and it's an interesting read. Anyway, I guess what made me think about this was she was driving a Chrysler. Can't remember if it was a Newport or a New Yorker, but it was a Chrysler product, and it spent most of its time under the water. Just an interesting story I thought of when we were driving by here. This is Penticton still. This is the Okanagan Lake beach on the other side. Just wanted to show you where the Peach City Beach Cruise is every year. So where all these cars are parked along here, that's filled with show cars, obviously facing the other direction. And people walk down this lane that we're driving in, and then the oncoming lane they leave open for people to, so you can cruise through and look at cars. And anyway, you can see the nice beach here. It's very nice. And we're going to come up to the SS Sycamoose. We'll get a closer look at that I showed you earlier. It's really neat.
Kind of hard to see it. Oy.
Film it for a little bit here, and then we'll just put some music on, maybe speed it up a little bit.